Shalom. I was looking at this video I shared, because I listen to everybody just to, give their point of view, because I'm not afraid to listen and hear truth if there is any in there. This Caucasian guy had a video called Black Hebrew Israelites Refuted, and it's 119 Ministries. First of all, I will say this. I'm not black. Black is a color. And that's why I told you I appreciate the Moors, because I learned that from them, basically, in their teachings. Basically, black is a color. It is not a nationality. It is not a race of people. First of all, there's only one race, the human race, and then there's nationalities within the race of humans. So there's no such thing as a black race. That's a color aloft term that has the assumption of truth, but it actually is not the truth. It's assumed. That's why I'm dispelling that assumption about me right now. I'm not black. And then, for you people that are my brothers and sisters who will be offended about that, that's just the truth. A color of law is not a law at all. It's actually the assumption and the fraudulent way of taking away rights. So if you claim yourself to be black, you have no rights. You are Ibri. You are Moor. You are, So that being said, I'm not a black Hebrew Israelite. And then he said Deuteronomy 28:68 undermines black Hebrew Israelite theories. First of all, like I said, I'm not a black Hebrew Israelite. I'm a Yisraelite, Ibri Yisraelite, Yehudi, M-U-U-R, the Washita people. And then he misconstrued the scripture. He said there's no reason to assume that every single curse listed in Deuteronomy has come to pass. But even if we grant that promise, he says Africans are the one group of people we know this verse cannot apply to. The verse says you will sell yourself. The African slaves in transatlantic slave trade didn't sell themselves. We were horrifically kidnapped, and then most were horrifically kidnapped and then sold into their will. And then since he's given an interpretation of himself, I'm going to give an interpretation. I gave that interpretation before. See, this is my interpretation of that scripture. He said you should be sold into Egypt again, but this time not with ships. In my interpretation, it is you're going to be sold again, but this time not with ships, and no man shall buy you. The reason no man will have to buy you because you're going to sell yourselves from the standpoint of birth certificates, licenses, corporate citizenship. He's talking in that sense. He's talking about the true Americans of his land, according to according to Webster's Dictionary, 1828, which talks about the copper-colored people here of the land who's basically been turned into straw men and women through citizenship of a corporation. That's my interpretation, since he gave an interpretation. Now, like I said, I'm not fighting him or anything like that. I'm just giving my opinion like he's giving his opinion. And first of all, let me go here too, and I'm gonna leave it at this. And like I said, the reason I came to the conclusion that I'm a Yisraelite, Israelite, because there's so much information that proves that I am. And then let me show you something. This is not against any people, but I'm just using information that is provided. If you would actually be fair and look what is recorded. This is not my information. This is information. I'm getting this from the law dictionary. Now it's saying, okay, let me see. Then he went on to talk about the several things. You can look it up yourself, but I don't have that much time for this video, so I'm going to go ahead and Well, okay, let me see. It was the Etymology Dictionary. I'm sorry. You decide for yourself. Like I said, I give everybody a chance because I'm not hiding. I just want the truth to come out. So if the truth means that this is a lie, the truth should come out. But if the truth be that we're telling the truth, and then like I said, I'm not black, so I'm not a black Hebrew Israelite. There's nowhere in the scriptures that it says black or white Israelite. It says the Israelites. So that's a term that another term that they've put on it. All right, let me go here. This is the Etymology Online Dictionary. It says Israeli, noun, citizens of the state of Israel, 1948, from Israel, plus Hebrew national designation suffix I, also used in the English as the adjective 1948. And watch this. This is what tells the whole story. It distinguishes the citizens of the modern state from the ancient people who had been known in English since 14th century as Israelites. See Israelite. Now let's see what it says about Israelite. Israelite, now, mid-14th century, a Jew, one of the people of ancient Israel, a descendant of Israel or Jacob, from Latin, Israelite, from Greek, Israelites, and from Israel, see Israel. The Middle English adjective was Israelish. Old English Israelist, sometimes Israelitish. Coverdale 1530s, Israelic, from the late Latin Israelicus. Let's see Israel. Old English Israel, the Jewish people, the Hebrew nation, from Latin Israel, from Greek, from Hebrew Yashriel, Yashriel, he that striveth with Elo, symbolic proper name conferred on Jacob and attended to his descendants from Sarah. He fought contended plus El. As the name of the independent Jewish state in the Middle East, it is attested. Now let's see something too. Because Ruth was a so-called Negro. That was for fact, right? Let's see what it says about Ruth. Ruth, feminine, proper name, biblical ancestor of David. From Hebrew Ruth, probably a contraction of Ruth, companion, friend, fellow woman. The Old Testament book tells her story. Shalom.